We're with UC Riverside golf coach Paul Joberg here to discuss the 2010 season. Now, Coach, before we get to 2010, what were your thoughts of the conclusion of the 2009 season with regards to the team's play and outlook for the future?
Well, we finished the conference championship at San Luis Obispo Country Club last April. We ended up, we were actually leading after the first round. I think we fell to third or fourth after the second round and finished, I think, fourth out of the 8 teams that were there. It was a good sign. Scott Clayton and Andrew Patapaxery, had a strong tournament.
Okay, and you mentioned those two. They finished tied for third at the championships. What are your expectations for them this season?
I expect that they'll be, 2 of the top players on the team. They certainly were, in 08, 09, and I would expect that they'll help carry us.
How did the players do in their fall tournaments, and who do you think has made the most improvement from the fall until now?
Scott, obviously Scott Clayton had a good fall. He's averaging 71.8 or something near that. He's a top 150 player in the country, and he shot a course record 63. Actually, he tied the school record 63. I'm not sure it was a course record at Virginia Country Club in the Long Beach tournament in October. He played well. Tom Lowe had a great fall. Played in 3 events. Andrew Patapaxery played mediocre for him, but still, pretty good. And Kevin Fitzgerald finally got his chance to compete after redshirting the previous year.
Who would you highlight as other key returnees from last year, or maybe continue to go off the men you just talked about?
Well, Scott, Andrew, and Kevin, I expect to be the top 3 players, certainly most of the year. Tom Lowe had a good fall. Daniel Brainerd played well at conference for us last April, so we'll have to see how he does coming into the fall. And then we have 3 new freshmen that will get their time.
Let's talk about that. The freshmen. Who do you think will be making an immediate contribution to the team?
I think we're going to have to see as they compete. Robbie Mamo, has got a lot of talent. Roy Kim's got a lot of talent, and so does Matt, Kevin's brother. And I think they each saw at least 2 or 3 tournaments in the fall. I was especially impressed the way Robbie Mamo handled himself on the golf course.
Okay, let's talk a little bit now about your 2010 schedule. What are your general thoughts?
Well, we had 4 tournaments in the fall. We have 5 in the spring traditional season. I'm hoping to actually add 1 more event sometime in mid-April, whether it's a one-day tune-up to get ready for conference. But we have some diversity in the schedule. We're going to Texas, Arlington, and Dallas. Going to Oregon, Pac-10 team, which should have a strong field. And then most of the other ones are California. We are going to Phoenix area, Scottsdale for the Wyoming tournament, which will feature a lot of teams from out of state. But we're going to have our chances.
Okay. And you've seen a lot of the Big West Conference teams in the fall tournaments. How do you think that the Big West this year is going to shake up as a conference, and where do you think the Highlanders will fit in?
We have seen, I think, every team except for UC Davis. We've seen all the rest of the teams at least once in the fall. I think the conference this year is as strong as it's been since, I've been coaching here since 2000, 2001. There's a lot of good players on the teams. There's a half a dozen teams: Irvine, Davis, us, Long Beach, Northridge, Pacific. All have some top players. It's going to be interesting. Excuse me?
And where do you think we're going to fit in?
I think we've got a chance to win, obviously. We're going to have to play well, and we're going to have to find out where the depth is at the bottom of the lineup. That's our goal going into conference, is obviously win.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add, Coach?
No, we're just looking forward to the upcoming tournaments.
Thank you very much.